Hi, everybody, and welcome to Soft Science for Sleep, where your pillow becomes a portal, your breath slows down like melting honey, and tonight your skin becomes the main character. You're lying there now, maybe still scrolling, maybe already curled into that particular side you swear you sleep best on. But beneath your pajamas or that big oversized hoodie you never returned from your ex, something quiet is already beginning. Your skin, the body's largest and most underappreciated multitasker, has just switched into night mode. The world outside might still be buzzing with notifications, street lights, or the distant hum of a fridge, but your skin? It's on a soft, hormonal schedule you never subscribe to. The surface may seem still, but behind it, millions of microscopic decisions are being made. Repairs ordered, collagen restirred, inflammation calmed like a cranky toddler. This whole idea might sound like some fanciful wellness fantasy, but here's the thing: you probably won't survive this without knowing. If you don't get enough sleep, your skin doesn't just get puffy or breakout prone, and it literally ages faster. Like, fast forward button on your face faster. So before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. Tell me in the comments where you're listening from and what time it is in your corner of the world. Bonus points if you're already in bed. Now dim the lights, maybe turn on a fan for that soft background hum, and let's ease into tonight's journey together. You stretch, maybe yawn, not realizing your skin is already aware of the time. It senses darkness in a way you don't consciously register, through temperature changes, the dimming of blue light, the slowing of your pulse. Your skin knows night not just by the clock, but by sensation. It's funny, skin doesn't sleep the way we do. It becomes busier. No more defending against wind, pollution, sun, or your third oat milk latte. At night, your skin goes off duty from being your armor and goes full time into being your mechanic, janitor, and therapist. Let's say you had a weird day, some sun exposure, a little too much sugar. Maybe you rubbed your eyes too hard or popped something you shouldn't have. Your skin has been keeping score. And as your mind starts to drift, skin cells start the quiet work of triage. That tiny cut you forgot about on your knuckle, white blood cells are already filing reports. Those expression lines you swore weren't there last year? Fibroblasts are loading up the collagen printer. Here's where it gets dreamy. Your skin has its own version of a brain, not in the thinking or tweeting sense, but in the sense that it gathers data, reacts, remembers, and adapts. It reads the room, your mood, and environment, your hormones, the ambient temperature, and adjusts its priorities accordingly. And historians still argue whether the skin's ancient role in night rituals was more spiritual than scientific. In ancient Mesopotamia, for instance, it wasn't uncommon for people to apply perfume balms before sleep, not just for romance, but because skin was thought to be open to divine influence at night, an offering, if you will, to both beauty and the gods. Fast forward to now, and we've got serums with 17-step routines and snail slime. But the principle is ancient. Night is for healing. Whether it's from sun, stress, or simply existing in a world that asks your skin to do so much just to keep you upright. By the time you're halfway through your REM cycle, something wild is happening beneath the surface. Cell turnover ramps up. Blood flow increases. The skin's barrier becomes more permeable, not to betray you, but to let in helpful molecules like moisture or, your overpriced night cream. And here's the kicker: skin actually listens to sleep. Researchers discovered that sleep deprivation reduces collagen production, slows wound healing, and increases inflammation. It's not subtle. You lose one good night of sleep and your skin files a complaint. 3 nights in a row, it starts protesting like it's outside a skincare convention with a picket sign. But tonight, you're not depriving it. You're giving it the gift of silence, darkness, and stillness. This is skin's golden hour, minus the flattering filter. Here, in the absence of distraction, it gets to do the one thing it craves: recover. Did you know that during World War II, nurses observed that soldiers with more restful sleep healed wounds significantly faster? It wasn't about morale. It was about cell division, immune signaling, and how your body prioritizes repairs when you're horizontal and dreaming about pancakes. And yet, modern life throws us curveballs. Blue light delays melatonin production. Stress jacks up cortisol, which dehydrates the skin and breaks down collagen like an over-caffeinated interior designer smashing old wallpaper. That's why winding down is a skincare step, even if it doesn't come in a bottle. When you lower the lights, breathe slower, and let your jaw unclench, that's your skin's version of a deep, happy sigh. And I, sure, there's debate among scientists about how much of skin repair is driven by internal circadian rhythms versus external behaviors like cleansing or moisturizing. But most agree, night is not just restful for you, it's essential for your skin's health. So here you are nestled in with your skin, quietly clocking in, taking attendance of every freckle, smoothing out that stress wrinkle you earned scrolling news at 2 a.m., and gently working on its nightly masterpiece. Keep resting. The real work is only just beginning. You're getting warmer now, maybe under a comforter, maybe under a weighted blanket that feels like a gentle hug from someone who actually knows how to listen. And beneath all of that softness, your skin's deeper layers have already gotten to work. Picture them. The fibroblasts, they're not exactly glamorous. They don't get the attention that collagen or melanin do. But these humble little cells are your night shift heroes. They live in the dermis, the thick middle layer of your skin, quietly weaving threads of collagen and elastin like they're mending a tapestry with invisible thread. You stretch out one leg under the covers, maybe feeling the cool edge of the sheet, and those fibroblasts are stretching too in their own microscopic way-spinning proteins, repairing tiny tears caused by everything from sunlight to gravity to that one weird facial expression you made while reading an email. You don't think about your skin being damaged every day, but trust me, it's a war zone out there. Pollution, UV rays, wind, makeup, even the casual scratch of a shirt tag tiny traumas that pile up without fanfare. During the day, your skin goes into defense mode. At night, it shifts to rebuild. There's something kind of beautiful about that. This idea that while you do absolutely nothing productive, unless you count lucid dreaming about cheese, your skin is maximizing its resources, working smarter than it ever does during daylight hours. Historically, people have always sensed that nighttime was a sort of healing window. The ancient Greeks believed that Hypnos, the god of sleep, worked closely with his brother Thanatos, the god of death. A little dramatic, yes, but the message was clear. The night is powerful, transformative, even sacred. It's where pain lessens, fevers break, and wounds close. And while the Greeks might not have known about fibroblasts specifically, they were onto something. Science now shows that these little cells are more active at night, migrating toward injuries, laying down fresh collagen like architects with a very late deadline. Of course, not everything about fibroblasts is a sleepy bedtime story. When overactivated, say, from chronic stress or poor sleep, they can go a bit rogue, producing uneven fibers that lead to scarring or sagging. They're helpers, but also a little emotionally needy. Treat them well, and they return the favor. Neglect them, and they'll stitch your frown lines into permanence. And here's the slightly strange bit. Fibroblasts don't just float around willy-nilly. They're guided by signals, chemical whispers from hormones, cytokines, and even electromagnetic cues from your circadian rhythm. In fact, there's still scholarly debate about just how much our body's internal clock affects fibroblast migration and performance. Some researchers argue they follow hormonal surges, while others suggest they're directly light-sensitive in ways we don't fully understand yet. What we do know? When your eyes are closed and your brain has slipped into stage 3 sleep, that delicious slow-wave state, your body releases growth hormone. It's not just for kids or bodybuilders. Growth hormone is like fibroblast fuel. It tells them, now, go, rebuild. This is why sleep-deprived people, tend to look a bit wrinklier. Not judging, just saying. Without that growth hormone signal, fibroblasts don't get their instructions. Collagen production drops. Skin loses elasticity. Your face starts muttering things like, remember when we used to bounce back? And here's a quirky tidbit. Frogs have fibroblasts too, but theirs behave differently depending on the temperature and the time of day. In colder conditions, their wound healing slows dramatically, almost as if the fibroblasts are wearing mittens. Scientists still don't fully understand the similarities, but animal skin research keeps revealing how deeply our biology is tied to light, rhythm, and temperature. Speaking of temperature, your body cools at night to help signal that it's time for sleep, and your skin is part of that process too. The blood vessels near your skin's surface dilate, allowing heat to escape. This cooling isn't just for comfort, it's part of the fibroblast invitation. A cooler body means better sleep, and better sleep means happier, busier repair cells. If you've ever fallen asleep with a cold compress on a sunburn, you've unknowingly amplified this cooling healing synergy. That sensation, the faint sting, the slow release is your body saying, thank you for not fighting this. Let's fix it now. Now let's address something mildly controversial. Over-the-counter collagen supplements. Are they the fairy godmother of nighttime skin repair? Or just very expensive wishful thinking? Dermatologists still argue whether ingesting collagen really boosts fibroblast activity or just digests into basic amino acids like any other protein. But anecdotal evidence, ancient bone broths, and wellness influencers will tell you it's magic in a bottle. You be the judge. Your fibroblasts, of course, are just grateful for a consistent bedtime. So tonight, maybe skip the guilt spiral over that one pimple or the laugh line that won't go away. Your skin is on it. Your fibroblasts are clocked in, hard at work beneath the surface, repairing damage you didn't even notice, and probably forgetting to log their lunch break. You, meanwhile, are lying still, maybe halfway to sleep, not realizing you're hosting a cellular symphony. 1,000 tiny stitches pulling your skin gently back to homeostasis. Like a repair crew tiptoeing through moonlight, they don't need applause. They just need time. You're drifting now. Maybe not fully asleep, but drifting. That sweet in-between place where sounds become soft watercolor shapes and your thoughts start walking off on their own. And somewhere under that drowsy hum, your skin's circadian rhythm is in full effect. That's right, your skin, all by itself, runs on a schedule. Not one, but several internal clocks, ticking away in a quiet biochemical ballet. While you snooze, these rhythms sync up like a team of invisible metronomes. If you've ever wondered why your face looks puffy in the morning, or why your skin glows best around midday, it's because your skin knows what time it is. Literally, it keeps track. And unlike your kitchen clock that always blinks 12 o'clock after a power outage, your skin has evolved to align itself with light and dark, activity and rest. It's like the world's softest timekeeper set, not by your iPhone alarm, but by hormones, light exposure, and even your body temperature. Scientists only started discovering this relatively recently. For a long time, people thought circadian rhythms were just brain business things your pineal gland, melatonin, and sleep centers dealt with. But turns out, pretty much every organ and tissue has its own clock, including your skin. And those clocks aren't just ticking for fun. They determine when skin cells divide, when repairs get prioritized, and when the protective barrier strengthens or softens. You're basically a walking time zone. During the day, your skin thickens its barrier, ups oil production, and turns defensive. It's out there shielding you from UV rays, pollution, bacteria, and whatever's lurking on that gas pump handle you touched earlier. But come nightfall, the barrier relaxes and your skin becomes receptive. Not weak, just open, absorbing moisture, restoring proteins, inviting all the good stuff in. And while there's still debate among researchers about whether these skin clocks operate independently of your brain's master clock, one thing's certain: shift your sleep schedule too much and your skin will let you know. Jet lag? Hello, dull complexion. All-nighter? Meet your new fine lines. There's a famous study where scientists exposed skin cells to changing light cycles, simulating jet lag. The result? Slower healing, weaker defenses, and disoriented, cellular behavior like microscopic interns who forgot which day it was. And here's where it gets even cozier. These rhythms don't just tell cells when to repair. They regulate your skin's ability to detect light itself. Yes, your skin can sense light, Certain proteins like cryptochromes and opsins, usually associated with eyes, are also present in skin cells. They pick up ambient light signals and help sync the tissue's behavior with the time of day. You essentially are a giant walking mood ring. And this isn't some fringe science. In the 1800s, French dermatologist Maurice Raymond believed that light affected skin far beyond the visible surface. He didn't have the tools to prove it, but he wasn't far off. Today, dermatological studies are starting to confirm that blue light exposure, like from screens, may delay your skin's night mode the same way it delays melatonin production in your brain. Your face wants to rest, but your phone keeps screaming, "Party." So what happens when your rhythm is in sync? When your skin's internal clocks line up with sunset, with cooling air, with dimmed lights? Magic. Blood flow increases, inflammation decreases, skin cells begin dividing, but not chaotically gracefully. Think ballet, not mosh pit. There's even evidence that certain genes, like PER1 and clock, switch on and off in predictable cycles within skin cells. It's like genetic jazz, improvisation within structure, rhythm baked into the blueprint. And yes, some of this is still up for debate. Not every dermatologist agrees on which genes matter most. Historians of medicine argue whether ancient lunar rituals were early attempts at syncing to these rhythms or just poetic superstition. But even now, many indigenous sleep rituals, like timing rest with moon phases, mirror our modern understanding of circadian impact on tissue repair. Funny how the old ways often circle back around. Even fragrance can alter the rhythm. In some cultures, people rub sandalwood or vetiver oil on the skin before bed, not just for scent, but because these oils cool the body and may help trigger sleep state skin behavior. You won't find that in a Western dermatology textbook, but your skin doesn't care about textbooks. It cares about signals. It listens. And right now, it's listening to the quiet, to the stillness in your room, to the dim light behind your eyelids. If you could zoom in, weigh in, you'd see this process unfold like a time-lapse garden. Cells dividing in ordered rows, vessels widening to deliver nutrients. Melatonin slowly dispersing into the dermis, calming oxidative stress. Tiny enzymes like catalase and superoxide dismutase sweeping through your cells like janitors with tiny mops, scrubbing away the day's damage. You didn't ask for this level of teamwork. You didn't schedule this appointment. But your skin? Always on time. Unless, of course, you stayed up binging documentaries again. And even then, it forgives you. It doesn't hold grudges. It just resyncs one sleepy night at a time. So go ahead, sink deeper into the pillow. Let the rhythm carry you. Your skin knows what time it is, even if you don't. Your breath has slowed now, longer exhales, fewer distractions. The mattress holds you like warm clay, and beneath that stillness, something nearly invisible is happening. Your skin is talking to your nervous system. Yes, talking. Not with words, obviously, but with chemistry, touch, and feedback loops that stretch all the way to your brainstem. The skin isn't just a barrier. It's a sensory superhighway, a messenger, a therapist who also happens to be your outfit. Touch a soft blanket, and receptors in your skin send electrical signals straight up the spinal cord, through the thalamus, and into your sensory cortex. Even gentle airflow, the soft hum of a ceiling fan, registers as information. Your skin reads temperature, pressure, vibration. It tells your body what's safe, what's soothing, and what's frankly just annoying, like that one rogue tag you forgot to cut off your pajama shirt. And here's the bedtime twist. At night, these sensations feel stronger. You're more sensitive, more open. Not in an emotional, I cried at a paper towel commercial way, although maybe that too, but in a deeply physical sense. Your skin, freed from daytime distractions, tunes into subtleties it usually ignores. That's partly because melatonin, your sleep hormone, alters how your nerves process touch. It doesn't numb you, it enhances contrast, like when everything goes quiet and suddenly you hear your heartbeat in your pillow, or when a single hair out of place feels like an antenna picking up ghost radio. This heightened sensitivity is why sleep environments matter. Scratchy sheets, too much caffeine, fluorescent lighting, your skin notices. It logs all of it. Historians still argue whether the ancient Roman practice of oiling the body before sleep was for moisture, ritual, or pure sensory pleasure. But either way, they knew something. Your skin responds to love. It remembers softness. Modern science backs this up. When skin receives gentle, slow-touch stimulation, think petting, massage, even your own hand on your arm, it activates a special type of nerve fiber called C-tactile afferents. These are slow-conducting nerves that send signals not of pain or danger, but of emotional safety. They're wired to reward calm, and their activation leads to a drop in heart rate, a release of oxytocin, and a subtle sense of "I'm okay here." In other words, you pet your skin, your brain purrs. Now zoom in further. Go microscopic. Your skin is home to millions of nerve endings, each with their own specialties. Some detect warmth, others pressure. A few are still a mystery. We don't yet understand their exact job, but we know they light up when touched in certain ways. That's part of the mystery scientists still debate. How much of what we call intuition or gut feeling actually begins in the skin? There's emerging research suggesting that skin signals affect not just physical responses, but emotional states. That hug you didn't know you needed? Your skin knew first. And the nerves don't just receive information, they talk back. Your skin secretes neuropeptides like substance P and CGRP, tiny molecules that influence mood, inflammation, even how you perceive your own body and space. It's like your skin has its own dialect of chemical emojis, communicating with the immune system, the brain, and nearby cells in real time. Which brings us to your vagus nerve. You've probably heard the buzz around it. Everyone from trauma therapists to TikTok influencers is talking about vagal tone. But here's what matters for tonight. The vagus nerve runs from your brainstem to your heart, lungs, and gut. It calms you down, slows your heart rate, and supports digestion. But it also has skin connections, especially in the neck, chest, and face. When these areas are touched gently, your vagus nerve lights up like a sleepy Christmas tree. It's why a warm washcloth on your face feels so disproportionately amazing. Why stroking your neck can melt tension. Why facial massage isn't just vanity, it's biology. And here's a fun, obscure tidbit. In some indigenous Arctic communities, people traditionally applied warm seal fat to the face before bed, not only for protection from the cold, but because the heat and pressure relaxed facial muscles and, they believed, helped with dream clarity. Modern researchers might credit that effect to vagal stimulation, but the community just knew it worked. You, tucked under your own version of warmth, are experiencing a similar effect. Even now, maybe you have unconsciously touched your face, shifted against the pillow, repositioned a blanket. These tiny adjustments aren't random. They're your nervous system asking your skin for feedback. Are we safe? Are we calm? And your skin, wise and wordless, says, yes. Yes, we are. By now, your parasympathetic system has probably taken the wheel. That's your rest and digest mode. Your heart rate drops. Your breathing lengthens. Your skin, in sync, increases its permeability, meaning it absorbs moisture more effectively. Night creams, humid air, even your own sweat, it all becomes part of the healing ecosystem. And here's the final layer of wonder. Your skin actually breathes. Not in the lung-based sense, but through a process called transepidermal oxygen diffusion. Basically, oxygen from the air seeps into your skin and participates in cell metabolism. It's not enough to survive on, obviously don't try that, but it's enough to support surface-level healing, especially at night. So that tingling you feel as you settle deeper, that subtle hum just beneath your scalp or along your back, it's your nervous system whispering back to your skin, thank you. Your skin isn't just covering you. It's co-regulating. It's responding. It's holding. And tonight it's doing all that while you do nothing at all. The hours are melting now, aren't they? Outside, the world might still be buzzing cars passing, neighbors closing blinds. But here in your quiet cocoon, time is beginning to unravel. And so is your skin. But don't worry, it's not falling apart. It's letting go. Now that your body has fully tipped into rest mode, another player takes the stage. Repair. The secret invisible spa service that only runs after dark. Your skin has clocked out of its daytime defense job and is now focused on restoration, on patching, soothing, stitching, and mending the small insults of the day. Tiny cuts from your zipper, that extra squint you didn't notice in the sun, micro tears from that overachieving face scrub. Even the emotional flush from an awkward Zoom meeting, it all gets quietly addressed while you sleep. This nighttime healing process isn't just metaphorical. It's biological. Around 11 p.m. to 4 a.m., your skin's mitotic activity, that's the rate at which cells divide and regenerate, peaks. It's the night shift, and the workers are busy. You might not feel it, but your skin is sending stem cells into action, triggering DNA repair enzymes, and producing collagen like it's prepping for a high-stakes red carpet in your dreams. And collagen, by the way, isn't just some buzzword on a beauty bottle. It's the structural protein that keeps your skin plump and resilient, like scaffolding made from clouds. Without it, gravity wins. With it, your skin bounces back literally. But collagen production isn't constant. It's deeply rhythmic. Disrupt your sleep and the collagen crew doesn't clock in properly. Shift workers, insomniacs, and frequent flyers all tend to show signs of premature skin aging, not just because of lost hours, but because those repair cycles are off kilter. Historians still argue whether ancient seafarers, who spent months awake under moonlight, aged more quickly for the same reason. And yes, this whole process is hormonally driven. The star player? Human growth hormone, or HGH. It spikes during deep sleep, triggering cell reproduction and tissue repair. And while most people associate HGH with gym bros or synthetic injections, your body makes it naturally if you let it, which is why those precious hours before midnight aren't some grandma myth. Sleep experts agree that earlier sleep aligns better with your natural hormonal cycles. Think of it like catching the right train. Miss the early one and the next might not take you where you need to go. But it's not just collagen and HGH. At night, your skin also increases blood flow. That's why it may feel warmer, flushed, or more sensitive after you climb into bed. This blood flow delivers oxygen and nutrients, but also sweeps away cellular waste, the equivalent of clearing the dinner table, washing the dishes, and setting up for breakfast. And here's where it gets deliciously nerdy. During these hours, your skin's immune cells also become more active. Langerhans cells, which help detect intruders like bacteria or allergens, roam more freely. They're basically your skin's night watch, ensuring nothing sneaks past while you're in dreamland. In traditional Chinese medicine, this might be likened to liver time, a window between 1 and 3 a.m. when detoxification and tissue cleansing are thought to peak. Western science might not use the same terminology, but the concept, remarkably aligned. This is the hour of quiet repair. The hour your skin whispers, okay, now we fix things. Let's not forget the microbiome either. Your skin is home to billions of bacteria, some friends, some slightly mischievous. But when your circadian rhythm is balanced, your good bacteria thrive, forming a protective ecosystem. Disrupt that rhythm and you invite imbalance, more inflammation, more breakouts, more why is there a new pimple there? And yes, your skin produces more sebum at night too, an oily substance meant to lock in moisture and support that microbiome. Ancient Egyptian women used to apply crushed fenugreek or almond oil before sleep, believing it helped balance the night oil. Modern researchers aren't entirely sure about fenugreek, but the concept holds. Feeding your skin while it works creates a loop of care. And here's a weird one for your sleepy brain. In certain frogs, the skin completely peels off and regenerates every night. It's like the ultimate exfoliation. Human skin doesn't go that far, thankfully, but we do shed around 500,000 skin cells every 24 hours, most of them sloughing off at night. So yes, your pillowcase is basically a diary of your skin's dreams. Some researchers are even exploring whether sleep posture, side, back, face down, affects nighttime repair. Turns out it does. Pressure from your pillow can limit blood flow or crease certain areas, which, over decades, may subtly shape how your skin ages. Think of it as origami from the inside out. But please don't panic and try to duct tape yourself into a perfect position. Your body knows what it's doing. Just make peace with the fact that your skin, like the rest of you, is doing its best with limited resources, a lot of interruptions, and no paid overtime. So tonight, as you rest deeper, your skin gets quieter on the outside, but wildly productive beneath the surface. A network of molecules and messengers orchestrates a ballet of renewal. Your face doesn't just rest, it restores, it recalibrates, it forgives. You don't need to earn it. You don't need to understand every step of it. You just need to let it happen. And maybe drink a little water tomorrow morning. The air is heavier now, like velvet. You're somewhere between awareness and that drifting liminal place where dreams begin to take root. And while your brain starts to unspool its nightly cinema, your skin is still wide awake, tracking moisture, measuring temperature, and adjusting to its own internal rhythms like a sleepy little weather station. Let's talk hydration. You might think of your skin as a sponge, but it's really more like a jellyfish in a sweater-soft, protective, fluid-based, but also constantly responding to the environment around it. And at night, your skin loses more water than during the day. This process is called transepidermal water loss, or TEWL, rhymes with jewel, oddly soothing. It's natural, inevitable, and kind of beautiful. While you rest, moisture evaporates gently from the surface of your skin. You don't notice it, you don't feel dry, but it's happening like fog rising off a lake in early morning. Your body uses this gentle evaporation as part of temperature regulation, making small adjustments to help you stay asleep. The skin is giving just enough to keep your core cool without letting you go Arctic. Of course, this is why skincare nerds obsess over occlusives, those thick, waxy night creams or oils that trap moisture like a sleepy little greenhouse. But long before modern formulas, people had their own rituals. In parts of pre-Columbian Mesoamerica, women pressed avocado flesh directly onto their skin at sundown. Not for vanity though, okay? Maybe a little but to lock in hydration overnight. Historians still argue whether these rituals were sacred, practical, or both. Meanwhile, your body is also busy redistributing fluids. Gravity has paused its daytime tyranny. During the day, fluids tend to pool in the lower limbs, but at night they flow more evenly. Ever wake up with a slightly puffier face? That's nighttime redistribution less poetic, more pufferfish. But it's not just water, it's chemistry too. As the moon slides higher and your breath grows longer, your skin's pH actually shifts. During the day, your skin leans more acidic to fight off pathogens. At night, it swings slightly more neutral. This encourages healing, but it also makes you more vulnerable to microbial mischief. It's one reason why that whole "don't go to bed with makeup" mantra exists. Your nighttime skin is less armored, more open. It needs allies, not baggage. And while we're on the subject of allies, meet melatonin, your skin's favorite hormone. You already know melatonin helps you fall asleep. But here's the plot twist. Your skin produces its own melatonin, independent of the pineal gland. Local supply chain, baby. This skin-based melatonin acts as an antioxidant, shielding your cells from oxidative stress and free radicals, basically, the microscopic chaos agents that cause premature aging. What's more, research suggests that topical melatonin might boost collagen synthesis and reduce inflammation. The science is still evolving. Some dermatologists are cautious, but the idea that your skin wears a little melatonin cloak while you sleep? Dreamy. Here's a lesser-known tidbit. The field of chronocosmetology, yes, that is a real term, is the study of how skin care interacts with your biological clock. Think moisturizers timed to your circadian rhythm or night masks that activate during your skin's peak repair window. It's science meets spa wrapped in silk and serotonin. But here's the more important truth. You don't need fancy products. Your skin's healing rhythms existed long before serums with French names, long before retinol, jade rollers, or influencer routines. Your ancestors, yours trusted nature, sleep, and a few simple ingredients. Honey, fat, clay, smoke, some oils, maybe a song. In Mongolia, women once applied a thin paste of fermented mare's milk before bed, believing it softened the skin and nourished the soul. Whether that's biochemically true or not, one thing's certain: ritual matters. The act of tending to your skin, of acknowledging your outer self with kindness, sends a message inward. I'm worth soothing, and skin listens to that. Because the skin isn't just passive, it's a responder, a reactor. Studies show that stress, even subtle stress, can slow wound healing, weaken barrier function, and increase inflammation. But safety, calm, repetition, those cues tell your skin, it's okay to relax now. You're not under threat. You can mend. It's the same reason lullabies work. Not because they explain sleep, but because they make us feel safe enough to surrender. So if you're lying there wondering whether your moisturizer is doing anything, or if that sleepy tea is worth it, or if any of this self-care stuff matters, yes, it does. Not because it transforms you into a radiant moon goddess overnight, although goals, but because it reminds your nervous system and your skin that rest is allowed, that you are safe. And here's where it gets even sleepier. Touch matters. Even a gentle hand on your cheek or fingertips resting softly on your chest sends calming signals through the skin to your brain. This self-contact, often subconscious, activates the same nerves stimulated by someone else's comforting touch. It's a built-in feedback loop of reassurance. In Japan, there's a bedtime tradition called Ta8, literally hand hands, where one places warm palms on the face or stomach before sleep. It's not a medical treatment. It's a gesture, a way of saying, I see you, body, I feel you. You're not alone. And in your own way, you're doing that now with every exhale, every shift of the blanket, every breath that fogs the air just a little warmer. Outside, the night deepens, but inside your skin keeps listening to silence, to softness, to sleep. You're sinking now, not falling, but floating downward, like a feather through honey. Your limbs are heavier, but not in a bad way. It's the good kind of heavy, the weight of letting go. And as your muscles relax, your skin sighs too, settling into a different kind of work. Because tonight your skin isn't just healing or hydrating, it's becoming more sensitive. Not emotionally, though, that would be kind of sweet. No, this is biological sensitivity. Your nerve endings, the little messengers scattered throughout your skin, become more active at night, which means your skin can actually feel more when you're asleep. Weird, right? It's one reason why itchy conditions like eczema or psoriasis often flare up at night. Your brain might be drifting through clouds, but your skin is still listening. It's more reactive to temperature shifts, fabric textures, even moisture changes in the air. Basically, your skin becomes a late-night overthinker. Relatable. Some researchers believe this has evolutionary roots, like a primal burglar alarm. A heightened sensitivity while you sleep could have helped our ancestors stay alert to threats. Bugs, weather, that one cousin who steals blankets. Historians still argue whether early humans really used tree sap as nighttime insulation, or if that's more legend than fact. But either way, sensitivity mattered. So what does this mean for you, curled up in a dark room with soft sheets? It means your skin prefers certain materials to fabrics that don't irritate or trap heat. Breathable cotton, bamboo, or silk, if you're feeling fancy. And yes, thread count does matter, but not in the luxury hotel way. A smoother weave means fewer micro-abrasions, fewer invisible itches, fewer interruptions to your skin's sleepy choreography. And temperature? Oh, it matters more than you think. Your skin helps regulate your core body temperature, and that's essential for deep sleep. As bedtime approaches, your internal temp drops slightly. That cooling helps signal the brain it's time to wind down. But here's the fun part. Your skin radiates that heat away, like a soft heat vent for your soul. This is why people sleep better in cooler rooms. Not freezing, just slightly chilly in 60 to 67 to 15 to 19 degrees. It allows the skin to do its thermal whispering. And bonus, cooler temps may even reduce nighttime inflammation in the skin. Think of it as an ice pack for your dreams. Ancient practices got this in their own poetic way. In Ayurvedic tradition, there's a belief that too much heat or pitta in the body disrupts both skin and sleep. To cool it down, they'd use sandalwood paste or bathe the feet in rose water before bed. Soft rituals to invite the skin into harmony. The science still under debate, but the imagery, flawless. And here's another curious quirk. Skin at night absorbs products differently. Your barrier function is slightly weakened in sleep, which might sound scary, but really just means it's more permeable, a bit more open to the world. This allows active ingredients to penetrate deeper, but it also makes your skin more vulnerable to irritants. So that essential oil blend you love, less is more at night, that spicy new retinol, maybe ease off before bed unless you enjoy waking up looking like a tomato with opinions. Instead, the night is for gentleness. Ceramides, aloe, niacinamide, things that sound like they belong in a lullaby. This is the time to soothe, not shock. And if you're wondering, yes, stress shows up more loudly on your skin at night too. Studies show cortisol, your main stress hormone, dips during early sleep stages. But if you're carrying unresolved tension worries, anxieties, endless mental to-do lists, it can cause microfluctuations that affect your skin's moisture levels and immune response. Ever noticed a pimple after a rough night? That's not bad luck. That's biology throwing shade. But good news, calming your nervous system can reverse that chain. Deep breathing, gentle touch, warm baths, these are not just bedtime luxuries. They are signals to the skin. Messages saying, you're okay now, the danger's past. Resume your lovely slow motion dance. Even your facial expressions while sleeping matter. People who grind their teeth, furrow their brows, or sleep tense around the eyes can actually wear their dreams on their skin. Wrinkles, puffiness, redness, these aren't just signs of age. They're signs of effort. So let your face soften, unclench your jaw, smooth your eyebrows, unfrown your forehead. The skin remembers how it's treated in sleep more than you think. In many indigenous cultures, sleep wasn't just rest. It was a ceremony of reconnection. The skin was anointed not with products, but with meaning, smoke, song, silence. Not because these things change the biology, but because they change the energy around it. And your skin responds to energy, just as it responds to moisture and light. And speaking of light, oh yes, we're going there. Even tiny amounts of artificial light can affect your skin's repair work. Your cells contain little timekeepers called clock genes, and they're light sensitive. That glowing phone screen or the hallway nightlight, it confuses the signal, makes your skin act like it's still daytime, reduces melatonin, interrupts cell division, delays healing. Basically, it yells, wake up at a room full of sleepy workers. So if you're serious about skin health, invest in darkness, blackout curtains, warm tone bulbs, maybe a sleep mask that feels like a velvet cloud. Your skin doesn't need total silence, but it craves true darkness so it can recalibrate, regenerate, and do its slow, glowing work. You're not vain for wanting this. You're not frivolous. You're just paying attention to the largest organ in your body and the one that never stops touching the world. It touches now, even in stillness, even in sleep. And now, with your body coasting through its quietest rhythms, your skin finally settles into its favorite late-night task: repair. See, your skin is like the crew that comes out when the city sleeps, tiny repair teams working beneath the surface, patching microscopic potholes, clearing out cellular trash, repainting sun-damaged billboards. You don't notice any of it happening, but the transformation is real. This phase of repair mostly happens during deep sleep, what scientists call slow-wave sleep, or stage 3 NREM. It's the part of the night when your breathing is slowest, your brain waves are large and lazy, and your body's energy isn't being spent on movement or thinking. That's when skin cells clock in and get to work. Collagen production spikes, cell turnover increases, DNA gets repaired. If the daytime was all about defending against UV light, pollution, and stress, nighttime is about rebuilding what got damaged and preparing for what's next. You could call it cosmetic recovery, but that makes it sound optional. It's not. It's cellular survival. Here's a mainstream truth. Growth hormone, which helps trigger tissue repair, is mostly released during sleep. No surprise that people with chronic sleep deprivation often experience dull skin, more breakouts, and even delayed wound healing. Your skin's version of calling in sick. But while the science supports this repair process, the exact timing varies from person to person. Night owls might experience their peak repair at 3 a.m. 3 a.m. early birds, maybe closer to 1. Historians still argue whether pre-industrial humans followed biphasic sleep, two separate chunks of sleep, in a single night, which might have shifted skin repair windows altogether. The point is your skin dances to your personal rhythm. Of course, some people try to hack this. Enter the world of sleep masks that contain active ingredients designed to work with your skin's circadian rhythm. The idea is lovely, feed the skin while it heals itself. But here's the thing, your skin isn't picky about packaging. It wants simplicity, hydration, and consistency. Grandma's olive oil habit might do more than a $200 miracle serum if it's part of a peaceful bedtime ritual. Speaking of rituals, one of the quirkiest night care practices comes from medieval Europe. During the Renaissance, women sometimes slept with slices of raw veal or cold porridge pressed against their cheeks. Not because they thought it was delicious, though who knows, but because they believed it cooled the blood and softened the skin. Gross? Maybe, but the idea of cooling the skin to calm inflammation wasn't wrong. Modern science agrees. Lower skin temperature can reduce redness and irritation. So thanks, 16th century beauty influencers. Meanwhile, back inside your cells, mitochondria, the powerhouses of your skin, are generating ATP, the energy currency that fuels cellular repair. And here's the cozy twist. This energy production peaks during sleep. It's almost like your skin saves the good tools for when no one's watching. And speaking of invisible tools, ever heard of exosomes? They're tiny, whisper-sized vesicles that cells use to communicate. Your skin cells send these messages to one another at night, coordinating healing strategies like a secret squad. Exosomes are still being studied, and some skincare companies are already selling them in bottles, because of course they are. But your body makes them for free while you're asleep. No shipping required. Even your skin's immune cells are more active at night. Langerhans cells, which help defend against pathogens, ramp up their surveillance during sleep. It's like your skin goes full neighborhood watch mode after dark, patrolling for bacteria, cleaning up allergens, and monitoring inflammation. So that overnight zit you woke up with? That's your skin responding to something that shouldn't be there. Overachiever. And if you're wondering how your skin knows to do all this, look no further than your biological clock. Each of your skin cells has its own circadian rhythm, thanks to clock genes that signal what tasks to perform and when. These cellular clocks sync with the master clock in your brain, especially when your sleep is regular and undisturbed. But if your schedule is chaotic, or if you're staring into blue light until 2 a.m., that sync gets scrambled, like a playlist on shuffle. Disrupted circadian rhythms can lead to skin inflammation, barrier dysfunction, and even increased signs of aging. It's not just about beauty sleep, it's literally timing. And here's where ancient wisdom meets modern science. In traditional Chinese medicine, there's a concept that each organ system is most active during a specific 2-hour window of the night. The skin, closely tied to the lung meridian, which peaks around 3 to 5 a.m., the hour when your breath deepens and dreams become vivid. Whether metaphor or mechanism, the connection between breath and skin remains fascinating. One more fringe fact before you drift further. Some researchers are exploring how skin cells respond to sound vibrations. Yes, really. Low-frequency sound waves have been shown to influence cellular activity in lab settings. It's early science, full of maybes and could-bes, but the idea that your skin can hear, that's the kind of magic that belongs in bedtime stories. So maybe those soft ambient noises you play at night aren't just soothing your brain. Maybe your skin listens too. All of this, every collagen fiber, every day repair, every sleepy cell signal happens beneath the surface while you lie still. Your skin doesn't need a thank you note, but maybe, just maybe, it deserves a little more credit. Because tonight, while you rest, your skin is quietly rebuilding your shield, repainting your outermost self, stitching up the day's tiny ruptures with threads of protein and grace. You don't feel it. You don't need to. But it's happening now and every night, and that's something worth surrendering to. Your breath is slow now, mouth soft, jaw unhooked, and just beneath the surface of your quiet skin, something older stirs. Not your skin barrier, not your collagen fibers, but something deeper. something microscopic, mysterious, and very much alive. Your skin has a microbiome. Yep, even as you sleep, your skin is teeming with life. A delicate, invisible community of bacteria, fungi, viruses, and even mites. Don't squirm, they're mostly harmless. Actually, they're essential. This soft biological ecosystem keeps your skin balanced, protected, and surprisingly social. In fact, your skin's microbiome is as unique as a fingerprint. Some species help regulate pH. Others keep harmful bacteria in check. Some even help modulate inflammation, calming down redness or swelling when things get rough. And while the gut microbiome has been hogging the spotlight lately, the skin's own crew deserves a standing ovation. Nighttime is their favorite. Why? Because when the skin barrier relaxes and the surface cools, conditions become ideal for microbial mingling. There's less environmental stress, no sweat, no harsh soaps or UV rays, just peace, darkness, and whatever skincare residue you've kindly left behind. It's their time to shine, or at least to snuggle in. But like any neighborhood, things can get dicey. An imbalance in your skin's microbiome, what scientists call dysbiosis, can lead to breakouts, eczema flare-ups, or even increased sensitivity. And while there's still a lot we don't know about how the skin microbiome behaves overnight, researchers agree diversity is key. That's right. The more varied your skin's microbial community, the healthier it tends to be. And no, that doesn't mean you should rub yogurt on your face before bed. Though, fun fact, some 19th century women actually did. They believed fermented milk softened the skin and brought balance. Historians still argue whether Cleopatra's fabled milk baths were about microbiota or just soft flexes. But the concept of probiotic skincare isn't as new as marketing teams want you to believe. Still, today's approach is subtler. Prebiotic mists, microbiome-friendly cleansers, sleep masks with fermented ingredients. You don't need to overdo it, just avoid killing your skin's tiny tenants with harsh astringents or antibacterial overkill. Trust me, your microscopic roommates are doing their best. And while they work their own quiet magic, your skin's connection to your gut becomes clearer too. This is where things get a little metaphysical. Because as strange as it sounds, your gut microbiome talks to your skin. It's called the gut-skin axis, a communication highway made of immune cells, hormones, and metabolites. And yes, that conversation continues while you sleep. Ever had a weird food day and woken up with irritated skin? That's the axis at work. Or notice that when your digestion's off, your skin gets oily, dry, or just confused. That's not coincidence. It's biology on speakerphone, and it swings both ways. Poor skin health can increase stress, which alters gut bacteria, which feeds back into inflammation, a circular duet that your body sings without you knowing. At night, though, this system calms. Inflammatory markers go down. Cortisol drops. And if you're lucky and fed yourself kindly, your gut sends soft signals to your skin. All's well. Repair can proceed. Resume glow protocols. It's why some cultures consider digestion the foundation of beauty. In Ayurveda, nighttime tonics like golden milkworm turmeric, honey, cardamom weren't just for sleep. They were for the skin, too. Something to nourish the inside so the outside could reflect serenity. Modern science is catching up. Turmeric, after all, is a powerful anti-inflammatory. But the ritual, that part, never needed proof. And let's not forget your skin's pH. While you drift deeper into sleep, your skin subtly adjusts its surface acidity. During the day, pH levels rise from sweat, pollution, and sun exposure. But at night, it lowers again, rebalancing to the sweet spot of about 5.5. Just acidic enough to keep harmful microbes out and the helpful ones in. This rebalancing act supports barrier repair, microbiome harmony, and even boosts the effectiveness of certain topical ingredients. Think of it as your skin's gentle reboot button, but this delicate process can be disrupted. Alcohol before bed, for example, alters pH and reduces hydration. So does sleeping with makeup on. Yes, even the clean kind. Even your pillowcase can interfere, especially if it's made from synthetic fabrics or hasn't been washed in a while. Dead skin cells, oils, and unseen bacteria gather fast, And your microbiome doesn't always love that party. Silk or bamboo pillowcases? Better. Clean them weekly? Even better. Because when your head hits the pillow, your skin isn't off duty. It's in session recruiting moisture, balancing bacteria, and responding to every input, including the gentle weight of fabric against your cheek. And speaking of inputs, one of the fringe fascinations of sleep science is the skin's electromagnetic sensitivity. It's still considered fringe, yes, but some researchers speculate that skin cells respond to EMF exposure, especially at night when the body's defenses are lowered. The theory is that blue light and ambient electromagnetic signals might alter skin barrier function or microbial balance. The data? Mixed. The science? Still young. But if you feel better unplugging Wi-Fi or stashing your phone away from the bed, your skin might thank you. Ultimately, what your skin microbiome needs at night is the same thing you do. Calm, darkness, and a break from noise. Let it breathe. Let it host its sleepy symphony of cells. Let it whisper across your cheeks and forehead like a soft hum of life. Invisible but essential, just doing its thing. Because as your breath evens out and your fingers loosen their grip on the waking world, a million tiny creatures are tending to you, brushing off the dust of the day, exchanging messages, and restoring harmony. You're never really alone in your skin, and that, weirdly, is kind of beautiful. Now drift just a bit further and zoom out because your skin, while busy with repair and microbes and midnight pH shifts, is also one part of a much larger loop, your endocrine system. Ah yes, the sleepy symphony of hormones. You may not feel them moving, but hormones are the great secret couriers of your internal world traveling by bloodstream, delivering tiny chemical messages that shape how you feel, function, and even heal. And while most people think of hormones in terms of puberty, stress, or monthly cycles, your skin, it listens to them every hour, especially at night. Let's start with the skin's favorite bedtime hormone, melatonin. Melatonin doesn't just help you fall asleep. It also has antioxidant properties that protect your skin from oxidative stress, the microscopic kind caused by UV rays, pollution, and even blue light. What's wild is that your skin cells don't just respond to melatonin, they can produce it. Locally, like, hey, we'll handle this one, brain. It's a neat trick, and it helps explain why good sleep leaves you looking refreshed. That glow? It's chemistry. But melatonin is just one player. Growth hormone, which we touched on earlier, surges during deep sleep and stimulates tissue regeneration like collagen synthesis in wound repair. Cortisol, the stress hormone, drops significantly during the first half of the night, giving your skin a chance to exhale. Lower cortisol means less inflammation. Less inflammation means better barrier repair. And then there's estrogen and progesterone. For those with cycles, the influence of these hormones on skin is, well, dramatic. Estrogen promotes moisture retention and collagen production. Progesterone can lead to oiliness or sensitivity. Their nightly levels ebb and flow depending on where you are in your cycle, and your skin follows suit like a moody artist. One night glowing, the next grumpy, and sometimes it has absolutely nothing to do with your skincare routine. Historians still argue whether ancient herbalists understood these hormonal shifts intuitively. In traditional midwifery texts from 18th century Europe, you'll find references to moon phases of the skin and advice like steep mugwort near the waning crescent to calm the red face. Folklore? Maybe, but it hints at a deep, if not fully scientific, recognition of hormone-skin interplay. Modern science continues the detective work. Take cortisol rhythms, for example. If you're chronically stressed, your nighttime cortisol might not dip properly. That impacts your skin's ability to repair. It also messes with sebum production, microbiome balance, and even your skin's thickness. Chronic stress, poor sleep, and accelerated skin aging go hand in hand, not because of vanity, but because biology is doing triage. When you're stressed, your body prioritizes survival. Glowing skin? That can wait. But let's zoom into something more tender. Your skin doesn't just react to hormones, it also helps regulate them. It produces enzymes that break hormones down, metabolizes vitamin D into active forms, and acts as a barrier not just to the outside world, but to your own inner fluctuations. Your skin feels your internal weather. And when it comes to sleep, that weather can change fast. For women in perimenopause or menopause, for instance, the loss of estrogen leads to thinning skin, dryness, and disrupted nighttime thermoregulation. That sudden 3 a.m. heat wave, not your imagination. Yet across cultures, traditional wisdom recognized this long before hormonal panels and blood work. In indigenous Andean communities, for example, elder women sleep with warm stones wrapped in cloth at their feet, believed to help guide the night heat downward. Science translation? Grounding practices may help with vasodilation and calming the nervous system. Also, warm feet help you fall asleep faster. Ancient hack validated. And for those with testosterone-dominant systems, the skin plays a different hormonal game. More sebum, more collagen, slower visible aging, but sometimes more acne. The endocrine system shapes it all, and while your brain is processing dreams, your skin is busy translating chemical poetry into physical change. Even your pineal gland, tiny pinecone shaped deep in the brain, has a direct line to your skin. It regulates melatonin and is sensitive to light. That's why even small amounts of bedroom light can interrupt your sleep quality and reduce nighttime melatonin output, which, surprise, affects your skin's ability to recover. Your body notices everything, which brings us to a curious corner of science: light-sensitive skin cells. Some researchers believe certain skin cells can detect light independently of the eyes. Yes, your skin may see light. It's still under study, and no one's claiming your arms can watch TV. But this would help explain why artificial light exposure at night disrupts circadian rhythms. Your skin's little photoreceptors are whispering back to your brain, like, it's still daytime, don't make collagen yet. Creepy or kind of amazing. Either way, the takeaway is this: darkness is not just a vibe, it's a biological need, a signal, a switch. So when you pull the shades, turn off your phone, and let the room soften into shadow, you're doing more than creating ambiance. You're communicating with your hormones, telling them it's time, time to repair, time to rebuild, time to glow in secret. Because as you lie still, your bloodstream is alive with messengers. Every cell is listening. And your skin? It's translating that chemical symphony into softness, resilience, and renewal. You're not just resting, you're regenerating. Somewhere in the quiet folds of your pillowcase, your skin and your mind are deep in negotiation. It's the kind of conversation you'll never remember, but your body keeps a transcript. Because while your skin repairs, rebalances, and hosts its nightly bacterial gala, another layer of restoration is underway, one you can't see but deeply feel. The nervous system. This is where things get intimate, because your skin isn't just a barrier, it's also a receiver. A giant sensory organ wired straight into your brain through a rich web of nerve endings. That gentle brush of fabric, that whisper of cool air across your cheek, your skin sends those signals inward, where the nervous system responds with adjustments in blood flow, hormone secretion, and even mood. And while you sleep, this entire loop shifts into what scientists call parasympathetic dominance. Translation: you enter rest and digest mode. The calming counterpart to fight or flight. Blood pressure lowers, heart rate slows, muscles unclench, skin temperature drops just enough. It's all very smooth, very slow, very cozy. And the star of this softening show? The vagus nerve. Ah yes, our dear vagus, arguably the most poetic cranial nerve in the bunch. It snakes from your brainstem down through your chest and into your gut, regulating everything from your heartbeat to your digestion to, yes, your inflammation response. But here's the kicker: your skin can influence it. Touch, especially gentle, rhythmic touch, stimulates the vagus nerve. That's why massages feel so deeply relaxing. Why soft sheets matter. Why someone stroking your back can make your eyelids go heavy in seconds. Your skin transmits comfort directly to your core. And this vagal connection has downstream effects. It helps calm inflammation, improves heart rate variability, enhances digestion, increases feelings of safety, even during sleep. Historians still argue whether ancient spa rituals in Rome and Greece were aimed more at muscle relaxation or nervous system recalibration, but either way, they knew touch mattered. Public baths were sensory playgrounds, warm water, scented oils, marble slabs, murmured conversations, and the skin drank it all in. In modern times, we've replaced those rituals with screens, rushed routines, and the occasional self-care night that mostly involves doom scrolling in a sheet mask. But your skin still craves that sensory rhythm, that signal that says, you are safe now, which brings us to something called cutaneous respiration. Sounds sci-fi, but it's real. Your skin, while not a primary organ of respiration, does absorb small amounts of oxygen and release carbon dioxide. It's a minor exchange, yes, but it matters, especially at night, when blood flow to the skin increases and the dermal layers become more metabolically active. In short, your skin breathes, just a little, just enough. And like any breathing organ, it benefits from fresh air, moderate humidity, and a clean environment. That's why opening a window, even just a crack, can help your sleep feel deeper. It's not just about oxygen to your lungs, it's oxygen around your body. Your skin can tell. In Japan, some traditional homes are built with subtle airflow in mind, wooden slats, rice paper walls, breathable textures. Not for aesthetic, but for physiological comfort. Skin needs to feel held, not smothered. And that's not just a Japanese concept. In parts of sub-Saharan Africa, clay dwellings are designed to exhale heat at night, creating an environment where skin can cool slowly without the shock of air conditioning. The architecture itself becomes part of the skin's regulation process. Cozy science meets ancestral wisdom. Back in your bed, you might not live in a breathing house, but you can still design your sleep space with your skin in mind. Natural fibers, low light. Maybe a touch of lavender or vetiver essential oils with compounds that, yes, interact with the nervous system via olfactory and skin pathways. Smell and touch blending like a lullaby. And if you've ever wondered why weighted blankets feel so good, that's vagal stimulation too. The gentle pressure mimics deep touch, calming the nervous system, slowing the breath, and some studies suggest improving skin barrier recovery through better sleep quality. Funny how something so heavy can make you feel so light. Now let's veer ever so softly into the strange, phantom touch. This is a phenomenon where people feel a gentle caress or warmth on their skin in the absence of physical contact. Some experience it during meditation, deep relaxation, or sleep paralysis. Scientists speculate it's the brain's way of simulating sensory input like dreaming and touch. Others say it's a neural echo, a memory of safety. Either way, your skin is still listening, still responding, even when no one's around. And this responsiveness shapes your dreams too. Ever notice how your dreams change based on temperature, fabric, or even scent? That's your skin curating your inner experience, choosing a soundtrack, designing your softness. Because here's a fact that feels almost too on the nose. Your skin has memory. It doesn't just react, it learns. Repeated irritation? It adapts. Gentle care? It remembers. That's why consistent nighttime rituals work. Not just for your brain, but for your largest organ. The skin learns what to expect, and then it leans into it. So when you wash your face with warm water, pat it dry, apply that favorite serum, and tuck into bed, your skin doesn't just absorb, it recognizes. It whispers, oh, it's time now. Time to soften, time to heal, time to switch from defense to repair. You're not forcing rest, you're inviting it. And every nerve, every cell, every quiet thread of your skin is saying yes. And now something even deeper. Let's talk about time and not hours and minutes, but biological rhythm. Your skin doesn't just passively endure the day. It follows its own internal clock, guided by something called circadian rhythm. Yes, the same one that makes you sleepy at night and groggy at dawn. But did you know your skin has its own version of this rhythm, ticking independently yet synchronously with the rest of your body? It does, and it's not just a poetic idea. It's embedded in the genes. Inside your skin cells are tiny molecular timekeepers. Genes like clock, BMAL1, and PER1. Together they choreograph when your skin divides, when it detoxifies, and when it hunkers down to repair the day's microscopic damage. At night, these genes tell your skin, go into healing mode. Collagen production, upregulated. DNA repair enzymes, activated. Antioxidant levels, adjusted. The skin becomes a microscopic workshop. While you dream about showing up to high school in your pajamas again, your cells are filing incident reports and patching holes in the hull, and those circadian shifts affect everything from barrier function to hydration levels. During the day, your skin thickens slightly and produces more sebum, a bit like armor. At night, it thins and loses more water, becoming more permeable. This is why nighttime skincare works so well. It's not marketing fluff. Your skin is literally more receptive after sundown. It's also more vulnerable. If you've ever fallen asleep in your makeup, tiske, and woken up feeling tight, flaky, or just off, that's your skin trying to detox with the equivalent of a plastic wrap on top. Not fun. And yes, your skin remembers that too. Rude. Historians still argue whether traditional Ayurvedic bathing rituals performed before sunrise were primarily religious, symbolic, or biologically strategic. But there's growing belief they were timed to sync with the body's natural rhythm. The idea, cleanse during the Vata hours, 2 to 6 a.m., when the body is most ready to expel waste and absorb purity. Your skin, they claimed, knows the sky. That's beautiful, right? Meanwhile, in modern labs, researchers are studying how circadian misalignment affects skin health. Shift workers, for example, tend to show earlier signs of skin aging and reduced wound healing. Jet lag isn't just brain fog, it's cellular confusion. The skin doesn't know what time it is, so it guesses. Poorly. This brings us to a quirky tidbit: skin jet lag. Yes, it's a thing. When you travel across time zones, your skin doesn't reset immediately. It lags behind the rest of your body, leading to dullness, dryness, and breakouts. Your face saying, why is the sun over here now? It's the dermal equivalent of showing up to work in your socks and sandals. And here's the funnier part. Some beauty brands are now formulating chronocosmetic products designed to support your skin's clock genes. Science is catching up with ritual. Fancy creams? Maybe, but the principle is sound. Because your skin's timing matters. Even the microbes on your skin have a rhythm. During the day, oil-loving bacteria dominate. At night, more diverse species emerge, microbes that thrive in moisture and help with barrier repair. It's a microbial shift change, with tiny bacteria clocking in and out like factory workers. Imagine a microscopic disco of gut-skin communication and nocturnal bacterial banter. Weirdly adorable. Your skin listens to the moon too. We're not saying your pores are howling at it, but fluctuations in sleep, hydration, and hormone levels during full moons do show up in the skin. Whether it's placebo, physics, or primal body memory is still debated, but even NASA tracks human sleep changes around the lunar cycle. If the moon can move oceans, it can probably nudge your epidermis a little too. And throughout history, humans have designed skin rituals around lunar time. In rural Laos, certain balms and oils are applied only during a waxing moon to feed the skin, while the waning moon is reserved for detoxifying clays and rice scrubs. Ritual? Yes, but rooted in careful observation. Many said, watch how the skin drinks it better when the moon is young. They weren't wrong. You see, your skin isn't a static surface. It's a living timeline, and it thrives on rhythm. So what happens when you don't respect that rhythm? Late night screen time, stress, chaotic sleep schedules. They confuse your dermal clock. Repair gets delayed. Oil production gets weird. Breakouts appear like passive-aggressive little time travelers, and your skin starts operating in panic mode instead of restoration mode. But the fix is not about perfection, it's about pattern. Establish a ritual, however simple. Wash, moisturize, pause. Let the skin know this is the hour of rest, and consistency tells your skin, you're safe, it's time. This is why even the smallest bedtime routines matter. A glass of water, a favorite scent, brushing your hair slowly. It doesn't have to be fancy. It just has to be rhythmic. Your skin hears rhythm better than reason. So tonight, Let your body hum in time with the dark. Let your skin breathe the same silent beat it's known for thousands of years. Let the dermal clock tick gently forward. And know that with every exhale, you are not just unwinding, you're sinking. And now let's slip quietly into the strangest layer of your skin's nighttime rhythm, the invisible battlefield. Because while you're dreaming of missed trains and flying turtles, your skin is doing something almost mythic. It's fighting, not in an aggressive way, not swords and shields, more like the polite, methodical work of microscopic bouncers. It's a defense that operates not with noise, but with chemistry, timing, and the wisdom of millions of years. At night, your immune system gets a little boost and your skin takes full advantage. Let's get into it. You see, the skin isn't just a barrier, it's an immune organ. It's covered in sentinel cells like Langerhans and T cells that recognize threats, tag invaders, and send messages deep into your body's defense system. And at night, the skin-based immune response goes into high gear. Why at night? Because inflammation, a necessary tool for healing, is less risky while you're sleeping. Your heart rate is lower, your muscles are still, and your cortisol levels, your stress hormone, dip. That means your immune cells can run their cleanup routines without triggering a full-body alarm. It's like trying to fix potholes in a road. You wait until traffic slows down. And the science backs this up. Studies show that skin wounds heal up to 60% faster when they occur in the daytime versus nighttime. But inflammatory repair, the immune system's role, is more active in your sleep cycle. It's as if your body waits until nightfall to do the messy work, like replacing drywall under cover of darkness. Historians still argue whether the healing nights referenced in medieval texts were spiritual metaphors or observations of real physical repair. Some even believe dreams could cure disease, that the act of sleeping was half the remedy. That may be a stretch, but they weren't entirely wrong. Your dreams don't kill bacteria, but your skin's night shift might. Let's pivot briefly into the strange. Have you ever heard of moon milk? No, it's not from cows who do yoga by candlelight. It's an ancient Ayurvedic sleep drink made with warm milk, spices like turmeric and nutmeg, and sometimes ashwagandha. But here's the kicker. Some versions include saffron not for flavor, but for the skin. Saffron, it turns out, has been used for centuries not just as a food or dye, but as a topical balm for redness, irritation, and glow. And when consumed at night, it's believed to support both mood and skin clarity. Modern science is catching up. Studies suggest saffron compounds have antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties that influence mood and cellular health. So yes, grandma's golden milk might just be a dermal lullaby in disguise. And here's another gem, bedtime oils. In traditional Persian medicine, people massage the soles of their feet and backs of their ears with sesame or almond oil before sleep. Not just for relaxation, but for skin immunity. These spots, dense with nerves and blood, flow acted like gateways, warming the skin, supporting microcirculation, and delivering trace nutrients. Today, you'll find echoes of that in modern aromatherapy, especially with oils like tea tree, antimicrobial, chamomile, anti-inflammatory, and rosehip, vitamin-rich. Your skin is porous, not a sponge, but not a wall either. It listens to what you put on it, especially in the quiet hours. And during those quiet hours, your skin microbiome gets busy. Yes, the microscopic community living on you, the bacteria, fungi, and viruses that make up your outer ecosystem. At night, this microbiome shifts. The acidic sweat of daytime dries up, sebaceous activity decreases, and certain protective bacteria flourish. Some researchers even call it the microbial evening bloom. That's poetic, right? But this bloom can be thrown off by late-night eating, certain medications, and even blue light exposure. That's right, exposing your skin to screens at 2 a.m. isn't just bad for your brain. It disrupts melatonin production, which impacts inflammation and antioxidant levels in your skin. You might not see it right away, but your skin knows. It remembers. Still, don't panic. The body in your skin is forgiving. And one of the most quietly powerful tools in its arsenal? Lymphatic flow. Your lymphatic system is like the street sweeper of the body, collecting waste, transporting immune cells, and draining excess fluid. And while it doesn't have a central pump like your heart, It moves with breath, muscle contraction, and body position. Enter sleep. Lying down gives lymph a break from gravity. Deep breathing while sleeping enhances movement. And gentle skin massage, especially around the neck and collarbone, can encourage drainage and reduce puffiness. This is why gua sha and facial rollers aren't just aesthetic fads. They're ancient tools with legitimate science behind them. In Chinese medicine, the skin is viewed as part of the lung system, which governs breath, rhythm, and boundary. Keeping the skin clear was seen as keeping the spirit in balance. Oils, stones, steam all were used to keep qi, life force, flowing through the skin like wind through silk curtains. Fringe? Maybe. But effective? Many say yes. And finally, let's not forget your skin's emotional memory. Touch, temperature, even light your skin records these sensations. That's why certain blankets, pajamas, or scents make you feel safe. Your skin isn't just sensing the present, it's recalling past comforts. This is why a favorite hoodie can reduce anxiety, why your baby blanket still makes you tear up, why a familiar perfume lingers in your brain longer than a name. It's not just nostalgia, it's somatic memory, the skin's way of cataloging emotional safety. So as you tuck into bed tonight, remember, you're not just resting. You're inviting your skin to return to its quiet defense, to lower its guard, to repair, restore, and remember. The battle doesn't look like a battle. It looks like softness. It smells like lavender. It feels like safety. And in this softness, your skin becomes stronger. Let's wander now a little slower into the world of sleep. Touch those gentle, often overlooked gestures and materials that shape your skin's nightly mood. Because it turns out, your skin is touch sensitive in more ways than you'd think. Not just in the ow, that's hot sense, but in subtle, even emotional ways. At night, your skin becomes a bit like a soft antenna tuning into textures, temperatures, and tactile memories. This is the science of sleepy contact. Start with the obvious, your sheets. There's more going on here than thread count snobbery. Natural fibers like cotton, bamboo, and linen actually help regulate the microclimate between your skin and your bedding. That matters because your body temperature naturally drops about 1–2 degrees during deep sleep, and your skin's ability to hold or release heat determines how easily you drift off. When the fabric feels right smooth, breathable, slightly cool, it signals safety, and safety signals rest. This idea isn't new. Historians still debate whether the elaborate bed linens of ancient Egyptian nobility were about status or skin health. Their flaxen sheets were spun with such fine fibers that the linen was said to whisper across the skin. Some believe this light contact kept the spirit anchored to the body during sleep. Whispering sheets, not a bad image. Then there's pajamas, or lack thereof. What touches your skin at night can either calm or confuse it. Synthetic fabrics can trap sweat and cause friction, which may aggravate sensitive skin. Ever wake up with odd little red lines across your body like you were visited by tiny sleep zippers? Blame polyester blends. And don't even get us started on socks. The great debate. Some studies suggest wearing socks to bed improves circulation and helps regulate body temperature, promoting faster sleep onset. Others say it's a betrayal of basic foot freedom. Either way, your skin feels it, and the warmth or coolness it absorbs affects vascular dilation and melatonin production. So whether you're team cozy socks or team barefoot rebel, know that you're not just dressing for comfort. You're cueing your circadian system. And then there's the emotional side of touch. Hugging a pillow, stroking a pet, holding someone's hand. These aren't just sweet bedtime rituals. They engage your skin's mechanoreceptors, specialized cells that send calming signals through the nervous system, lowering cortisol and inviting oxytocin, the cuddle hormone, to come out and play. Touch heals, but not all touch is created equal. Enter CT afferent nerves. These are slow-conducting sensory fibers in your skin that respond to gentle, caressing touch, like a brush of a hand or the slide of silk. They're tuned for social bonding, not protection, and they activate areas of the brain linked to emotional well-being, not just tactile processing. In other words, the right kind of soft touch makes your brain whisper, "Ah, safe now." That's why massages, warm compresses, or even just lightly rubbing your temples can have surprising effects on both your mood and your skin's behavior. Relaxed skin is better skin. Period. Fringe corner. Some people swear by weighted blankets, not just for anxiety, but for skin improvement. The pressure stimulates deep touch receptors, triggering a cascade of nervous system relaxation. Some say their eczema flares less when they use one. Could be placebo. Could be pressure signaling the brain. Stand down. We're good. Let's not forget baths. The soak before sleep is an ancient rite, from Japanese onsen to Roman thermae to Turkish hammams. But there's more than ritual here. A warm bath raises your core temperature slightly. When you step out, your body cools rapidly, mimicking the drop needed for sleep. Your skin plays a starring role in this cooling. It dilates blood vessels to dump heat like a built-in radiator. Add Epsom salts. Magnesium helps relax muscles and reduce inflammation. Add essential oils. Lavender or sandalwood interact with skin and scent pathways to deepen the sleep signal. The bath becomes a lullaby: warmth, scent, silence. Historians still argue whether Cleopatra's legendary milk baths were really about beauty or more about microbiome nourishment. Milk contains lactic acid, a gentle exfoliant, and fat-soluble vitamins. And whether myth or marketing, the ritual worked. Her skin was known across empires. Speaking of rituals, have you ever noticed how the way you touch your own face changes when you're tired? The fingers soften, the strokes slow down. There's a kind of automatic gentleness that appears. That's not just emotional, it's nervous system feedback. You're telling yourself, it's time. And here's a cozy fact. Stroking your own arm or cheek lightly can actually lower your heart rate. Your skin isn't just receiving, it's sending. Even your pillow pressure matters. Side sleepers, back sleepers, fetal position curlers, your position creates zones of touch. And in those zones, circulation and lymphatic flow adjust. That's why sleep lines exist. Your skin remembers where you pressed it. Over time, these compressions can become permanent, which is why silk or satin pillowcases are more than a luxury. They reduce friction, pressure, and creasing. So yes, sleep does leave an impression, sometimes literally. And now a tiny strange gem. In ancient Mongolia, night travelers wore felted pads on their foreheads, not for style, but because they believed the sleep spirit entered through the skin of the brow. The pads were soaked in herbs and warmed by fire, meant to invite deep, protective rest. Whether that was placebo or placebo plus, who's to say? But what a thought that the skin on your forehead might be a door to dreams. You're starting to see, aren't you? Touch, temperature, position, they're not trivial. They're the language your skin speaks every night. They shape how you rest, how you heal, how your immune system resets, how your nervous system lets go, and most of all, how safe you feel when the world goes quiet. So the next time you pull a blanket to your chin or smooth your hands over your thighs before sleep, don't rush it. You're not just tucking yourself in, you're whispering in the skin's secret language. Sleep now. You're home. By now, you've probably started to notice that your skin, this soft, durable, overlooked suit you wear every day, isn't just doing its own thing at night. It's listening. It's healing. It's remembering. And in this final stretch of our journey, we arrive at something deceptively simple: rhythm. Your skin, like your breath and your heartbeat, dances to a rhythm that's older than electricity, older than cities, older even than language. A rhythm not just of sleep and wake, but of light and dark, warmth and cool, quiet and stimulation. That rhythm, the circadian cycle. We've mentioned it before, but let's finally open it all the way up. Circadian rhythms govern nearly every biological process from your body temperature to your hormone levels. But what many people don't know is that your skin has its very own circadian rhythm, almost like a sidecar to the brain's central clock in the suprachiasmatic nucleus. While your brain sleeps, your skin's clock ticks on. During the day, your skin is in defense mode, tightening its barrier, boosting antioxidants, shielding you from UV rays and pollution. But at night, under the absence of light, your skin switches to recovery mode. Cell turnover speeds up, DNA repair enzymes kick in. Collagen production rises. It's a full-on biological spa hour minus the cucumbers. And yes, light plays a starring role here. Your skin actually has photoreceptors cells that can detect light even when your eyes are closed. This is why sleeping in a room with artificial light TV screens, street lamps, phone notifications can mess with your skin's repair rhythm. It's not being dramatic, it's being confused. Historians still argue whether early human dwellings were engineered to sync with the light cycle or simply to survive it. But what's certain is that before light bulbs, our skin knew darkness intimately. It responded to firelight, moonlight, and the blackness between stars. That kind of rhythm is hardwired. And here's a beautiful irony. The best thing for your skin at night is nothing. Not a 14-step acid exfoliating routine, not a serum imported from the secret mountain caves of youth, just darkness, silence, time. That's not to say skincare doesn't matter. It absolutely does. But the timing matters more than most people realize. Chronotherapy, the science of applying treatments according to your body's clock, is becoming a real area of dermatological research. Some moisturizers work better before midnight. Some acne medications sync best with oil production peaks. And some ingredients like retinol only work properly when shielded from light. Your skin, in other words, has a bedtime, and it prefers you not interrupt it. But here's something curious. Have you ever noticed how your skin glows after a good night's sleep? It's not just your imagination. Better sleep means lower cortisol levels, more efficient hydration regulation, and stronger collagen cross-linking. It also means less puffiness, fewer breakouts, and a more even tone. Basically, sleep is the world's cheapest beauty product, and your skin knows it. That's why so many ancient health systems placed skin at the center of nighttime rituals. In Ayurveda, night oiling wasn't just cosmetic, it was emotional hygiene. In traditional Korean medicine, evening skin-breathing practices included tapotimen, or rhythmic tapping to increase qi flow. In medieval Europe, people used linen masks soaked in rosewater and vinegar, not for vanity, but for protection from night airs, which were believed to carry illness through the skin. Fringe? Absolutely. But they all recognized the truth. Your skin is porous not just to chemicals, but to rhythms. And now for something extra strange. Did you know your skin sheds tiny light? Yep, in trace amounts, your skin emits biophotons, ultra-weak light particles, given off during metabolic reactions. These aren't visible to the naked eye, but they're real, and their intensity seems to vary based on circadian phase and oxidative stress levels. Scientists are still figuring out what these biophotons mean, but some believe they could eventually be used as biomarkers for skin health or even emotional states. So yes, even in your sleep, your skin literally glows. Softly, quietly, secretly. Now let's wind this down with one final thing, touching your face in the dark. You've done it. Everyone has. That small moment when your fingers trace your cheekbone or cup your chin as you settle into the pillow. It's not about vanity. It's a somatic signal, a way to say you're here, you're real, you're okay. It's ancient, primal, almost animal. And your skin listens. It remembers that touch. It files it somewhere between now and morning. It adds it to its library of comfort. This is how healing happens. Not in leaps, but in these miniature reassurances. So tonight, when you turn off the lights, know this, your skin is ready. It's been waiting all day to begin again, to restore what was lost, to repair what was frayed, to glow invisibly, just for you. And now, as the rhythm of this story slows and your breath begins to match it, let's let your skin rest. You've taken it through sunlight and rain, laughter and stress, hard air and soft sheets. But now it can just be. You don't have to scrub it or scan it or fix it. Just feel it. The way your pillow cools your cheek, the way your blanket tucks around your shoulders like the quietest embrace, the way the air brushes across your arms soft, familiar. Tonight, your skin remembers every kindness, every warm bath, every laugh that flushed your cheeks, every gentle thing you've ever done for yourself. It stores those things, like little notes in a drawer. They don't go away, they become part of you. So maybe as you drift, you can thank your skin, not out loud, just in thought. Thank it for being your first home. Thank it for holding everything together. Thank it for healing while you sleep. And as your breath deepens and your mind softens, know this: there is nothing more you need to do right now. You are wrapped in something ancient, something wise. You are safe, you are held, and your skin, your marvelous, glowing, quietly tireless skin, is taking care of you. Sleep well, dream softly, and let the night do its quiet work.